rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. It's not going so hot for the Titans this year so far. David Malone, former #1 draft pick of the Niners. #1 overall. Look at this cat, 94 speed, 95 a cell. Another first rounder. Solid rookie too, right there. Former Bengal right there. They poached him off the practice squad. This guy might have been on Jim D's team last year. Practice squad, maybe. I don't know, I remember that name. This corner right here is a freak. Second pick of the draft in 2027. Defensive Rookie of the Year. I try to avoid number 37. Alright, let's get smacking out here on the tube.
Today, from Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, It's Week 11 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Tennessee Titans.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tennessee Titans and the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Fielded right around the 8. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
They'll begin the drive with Jackson on the ground. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Operating from the gun, Malone. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Gets around him. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
Rookie linebacker.
After the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. They'll run on first down. Alford, he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. The numbers for him from a week ago: 19 carries, 71 yards.
Yeah, he could very well be on his way to a rushing title, but guess what? His offensive line, they're meeting separately because they want that rushing title as much as he does, and they want to make sure they get him there.
To throw on second down. Goal. Got a man open. It's Ross. loss. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
He's got the first down and more inside the 40, and finally taken down at the 34. Another big hitter there. This one good from 18.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
28-yard line.
And his throw is incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
This will be caught inside the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time, because let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You got to let that happen, guys. Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Oh, you got to catch that.
Able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On the ground, this is Jackson. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run.
Here.
And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Yeah. That is incomplete.
That certainly looks like nothing to show now from these first 2 possessions. And guess what? When you're on a losing streak, that can lead to a full sense of, here we go again. So on the sidelines, the offensive play callers, quarterback, they've got to get together and dial something up to start their next drive. Otherwise, it could be a long game.
And wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane. And they're thinking about, hey, we got shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On 2nd down now. Alford, and he is going to get this close to the first down markers. He's brought down at the Titans' 28.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
7 yards there and a first down. From the gun, Gore. Flushed out right. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Bengals are going to take a first quarter lead. Now the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a Bengals score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Operating from the gun. Malone. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
First down.
Now it's Jackson. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
One of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
The running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw on second down. Malone finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it third down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
Roper wants that money.
They just gave up a sack there. If I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Off play action. Gore. And he's going to have the hook up to Ross. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. That man right there, John Ross, remember, he ran the fastest combine 40 in history, 4.22 seconds, and he showed off that speed right there. Wow. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Caught at the 7, and he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's able to skip away from that first defender on his way to a pickup of 5. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Bengals. It's their quarterback, keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. And maybe the defense caught a little by surprise there that he took off and got in.
Yeah, I would think so, because if you're analyzing it from that side of the ball, you're thinking running back, fullback. It takes you a while before you get to the quarterback.
Look at Bundy picking up 2 pancakes. 2-for-1 special.
Now comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. From the gun, Malone. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get down to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield.
And this is going to be intercepted.
Let's go, Craig.
He's picked off near his own 48, the 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six for Bengals TV.
Slightly.
Now the try here for the point after. And it is now 21-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get one step. If you're within one step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that, looks like an extra step was involved.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line drive. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Malone. And his throw here is incomplete.
You tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Malone. He'll drop this down to Jackson. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On now is the Titans punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the gun, Gore. Looking left side, and he's got him in. It's Gonzalez. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 23 yards the pickup there.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these.
This is caught at the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals add on to their lead. He's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
Get that man signed.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. But if you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes,
bye-bye.
He just takes off and goes, and I think that's what we just saw there.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Malone. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into a bigger point. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator.
And he's caught. He's got it for a big touchdown. From 8 yards out. And this offense continues to pour it on.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
And his kick is right through. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Operating from the gun, Malone. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he will bring it back. It's 6 for Bengals TD.
Apologies, Chris Bruno on the bench.
It's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and
We're here at Pebble Beach.
and come out and start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
To throw on second down, Malone. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
Third down and less than a yard.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. From the gun, Malone. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. The final shot before break. Malone. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And this is going to be incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, and it's the Chiefs who are out in front as they move towards halftime. Patrick Mahomes, 2 touchdown passes thus far. From there, we head east to check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Buffalo Bills. Daniel Jones has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And they were winners in that ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. 31-23, the final score. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. From the 6. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And really a solid group effort. I mean, the montage focuses on him, and rightfully so, but it's been a good job of a team to get this lead.
Oh, I'm with you totally on that. I love the observation. Offensive line and people having to protect.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. He'll run it. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
And that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. And he's got this down to the...
Or something. Here we go now. Let's take care of these Titans.
35. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run in the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one better than 20 miles an hour. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
The rookie carry. Oscar Santos, Alabama.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. And they're going to speed things up here.
Gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd and 1.
They'll keep it on the ground. Santos. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done. And they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Throwing on first down. Goal. And this is caught at the 8. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first. And he will take it on in for the Bengals touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So that drive in total 8 plays. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this carries into the end zone. And
how they can mess up the wind.
As he will not attempt the return.
When the fuck that happened.
Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the third. And last time this unit was out here,
fix you could ever do.
Turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, they just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
And this is going to be incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
They're on 17-yard.
Cincinnati set to take over once again. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive. On first down, Alford. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9.
Back to throw. Gore, flush to his right. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He was over 100 receiving last week. He's over 100 now this week, as he's got a first down as well.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Gore.
Look at that lead pass.
That's Gonzalez. And they'll get this well past midfield before
Threw that right where I envisioned it.
The 35. That's good for 28 yards.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
So they move from 136 over to the other as they come up on first down. From the gun, Gore. He's going to fire one deep over them. And this is caught. And he will take it on in for the Bengals touchdown.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead.
Titans, nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Looking to throw on second down. Malone. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
Might get paid right after this game, homeboy.
Well, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. And that will be incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Once he got hurt.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 12 yards there and a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
A quick throw now complete to Ross.
Oh my, you filthy animal.
Take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. John Ross, his 4th touchdown on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
And in this day and age, I would love to play quarterback in the NFL. Wide open offenses, acrobatic receivers. If you're accurate, you're going to have days like this.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with a Bengals score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From the gun on 3rd down. Malone. And it's caught by Parker. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Back now in Cincinnati. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Titans. A big play there.
Keep blitzing. Man, blitz.
Touchdown of the season.
Bound
and the
up.
Titans are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And if you look at the next-gen stats, you'll see that he topped out at an even 21 miles an hour. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
They'll run on 1st down. Alford. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
A quick throw complete into the flat out left. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
To number 83. A 6-yard.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On 2nd down, Alford. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly, and this one could be coming back.
Are you scared of this?
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. On 2nd down now, it's Santos. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter,
you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. He's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. 25 yards for the touchdown. And this offense is running away with this one. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Fielded right around the 8. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Malone. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
On 3rd down, Malone. It's complete to Parker, left side. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. First down, Titans, gain of 12.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
That's caught by Jackson. No gain, and it's 2nd down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play. I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
To throw on 3rd down, Malone. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Oh, look at the juke. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5.
At their own 23-yard line.
So here are the Bengals set to take over. They are working on that very impressive 9-game win streak, looking to get it to 10 as they've got the lead here, 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. And he's got a Bengals first down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now left side on the swing pass. And always going to be brought
That's
down
the longest
by the
yard
face
type
mask.
tackle
Here
right
come
there.
The flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march up another 15 against your squad.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Buying time to his left. He'll try and run it. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Give him 9 yards on the scramble there, but it does leave him still a few inches shy with 3rd down looming. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. He's had his eyes on 7,000 career rushing yards, and with that last effort, he has hit that mark. What a career.
And that is the number to focus in on, because oftentimes we talk about where do they rank all time. We're not there yet. He's not knocking on the top 10 or the top 20, but over 7,000 yards in a career, fantastic.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he rifles one incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On 3rd down, Gore. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. Certainly not what they wanted there. No gain, and it's 4th down. They caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch. And most offenses make a living off of yards after catches. Hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. On 1st down, Malone. Going to throw right side here, complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet.
and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty is a result of that hit there.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Malone. Bringing it in. Jackson left side. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 7 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. Well, earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
From the gun on 3rd down, Malone. And he comes back with one complete. And the Titans are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Cincinnati, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Pittsburgh Steelers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.